How do you feel about the government knowing everything that you purchase, whatever you buy, whether it's online, whether it's by debit, whether it's by credit card? How do you feel about the government knowing how much your mortgage payments are, how much you're paying in interest, how much you're not paying on your credit card? How do you feel about the government knowing how much money you're giving your kids or how much money your parents are giving you to help you with expenses? Well, I know I sure wouldn't like that, but I can tell you right now the government is preparing to get all of that information from millions of Canadians without telling them about it. Stats Canada is going to be doing data collection. Yeah. They're going to be establishing, this is Chris Warkentine, everyone. Sorry, we were getting so carried away in talking about this. Chris and I just came back from question period where we were asking the government about this very thing. The government is supporting Stats Canada in collecting millions of Canadians, the information from millions of Canadians. They're going to know your social insurance number. They're going to know your license plate or your license information, your address.
All the billing information that you have with credit card companies, the number of credit cards that you do have.
How many credit cards you have, what you owe. We're not making this up. This sounds like it cannot be true. It is sadly true. The government is going to be collecting all of this and not even telling you that they're collecting it.
Well, this is what's so remarkable. Today, of course, we had Justin Trudeau defending for the second day in a row this whole new plan that he has. Now, what was startling today is two things. Number one, that the Prime Minister continues to defend his collection of this data. This is information that most Canadians believe is their personal information. The amount that they owe on their home, the amount that they owe on their car, the amount that they paid down on their credit card last month, the transfer, the e-transfer that grandma made to their grandchild. Yeah. All of this personal information is now being collected en masse, and the government is forcing, now let's be clear about this, the government is forcing credit card companies, banks and the rest of them to turn this information over.
Yeah,
this has never been done before.
And the banks cannot be very comfortable with this. Credit card companies must be very unhappy. We're just starting to hear, I think, from some of these companies. So we've been asking the government. We started yesterday. Today we asked again. We actually expected, I don't know why we keep expecting that they're going to fix these problems, do the right thing. We expected them to say, this is a bad decision, we're going to reverse it. You know what, you'll remember when I chatted with some of you a couple of weeks ago about another bad decision that bureaucrats made, and that was to move Terry Lynn McClintock, Tory Stafford's killer, into a healing lodge. Again, we expected the government to do the right thing, reverse that decision. They didn't. Terry Lynn is still in a healing lodge. So this time we thought, well, you know what? Maybe the government, maybe the Liberals have learned something. They're going to reverse this decision. No, they've defended it.
They've doubled down.
And Chris, what's their main defense?
Well, their main defense is they're simply saying, well, this information needs to be collected so the government can make good decisions.
And don't worry, it's all going to be protected.
Right.
Don't worry your pretty little heads over it, because the Liberals, Justin Trudeau and the Liberals are going to protect all of your privacy and your information.
Well, you know what, you had discovered, and you actually asked a question a little while ago of the government. You demanded that they reveal to Canadians how many times that there's been data breaches or privacy breaches of Canadians' private information that has been undertaken by this government. So times that they've leaked accidentally information or documents that should be protected. They've been released. Now, you actually asked a very, very specific question.
So, and so it was actually our colleague Deepak O'Brien who put a question on the order paper. This was a question last April 23rd of 2018. And he asked the government with regard to privacy breaches since September 19th, 2016. So that would have been about an 18-month period. He asked the government to break down by department, agency, Crown Corporation, or other government entity, and then it lists how many privacy breaches have occurred, was it reported to the Privacy Commissioner, how many people were affected. So when this question was asked, and he worked with my office, the House Leader's office, to do this, this story hadn't even broken, obviously, about the Stats Canada data collection. But the Liberals, the government, did table their answer in June of 2018. And this is the answer. I'm going to bring it closer.
Let's
over 800 pages. You guys can see this. This is like massive amounts.
And
over 800.
This isn't 800 times. This is 800 pages
it's pretty heavy.
of of time after time after time after time after time on every single page of these 836 pages.
Of breaches, because this is what the government does. The government isn't good at much. Well, but they're certainly not good at keeping your data safe and your information safe. So
when they promise you that all of your information about all your spending habits and all the things that you've done on your spent money on your credit cards, the times that you've transferred money to your children, they're telling you that will all be safe. That your financial information that's attached to your social insurance number and all the other personal information, all compiled in one place. Can you imagine if a hacker?
You know what really worries? You know what I think really worries people too? You know, online purchases, what you're doing online, I think that there are a lot of people that don't want the government looking over their shoulder and spying on them. And this is actually the financial transactions, what you're purchasing online, what you're downloading, what you're paying to download. The Liberal government will have access to it. And Trudeau and his band of merry men and women don't seem to understand how upset Canadians are about this. And
this isn't going to be just a one-time deal.
No,
what they're promising is that that individuals will be followed, that they'll be surveilled, and that it will be permanent, and that they will be able to track people's spending and their financial activity time and time and time again. So that's what we know thus far. The other thing that broke today, the news that broke today, was that it was just been revealed that just a couple of months ago they forced a company to reveal 15 years of credit history of Canadians that had utilized that company. And so it's already started, it's continuing. Canadians need to push back.
This is alarming. We have to stop it. We need your help to stop it. In a minute, you're going to see the questions that I did ask today in question period. You'll get a little bit of a taste if you haven't had a chance to watch question period yet today, because you're probably all working, raising your families, doing important things. So we're going to show you what happened today in question period, and then we'll be back. Mr. Speaker, we have 800 pages from just the last 2 years of times when Canadians' information has been breached by this government. Liberals don't protect data. They lose it, they misuse it, and they leak it. Canadians don't trust Liberals when it comes to their information. I'll be happy to table those documents after question period, Mr. Speaker. When will the Prime Minister stop this unauthorized surveillance of Canadians?
Honourable Minister of Economic Development.
Again, Mr. Speaker, let me be very clear. Our government understands the importance of protecting privacy, of protecting data. That's why we've actually engaged in a data and digital consultation process to further build more trust within Canadians when it comes to their data. Our government understands why it's important to make sure that in the digital economy, when transactions occur online, that people have an understanding about privacy, about consent, about data ownership, about data portability. We're taking additional measures to strengthen our privacy legislation as well, Mr. Speaker.
Opposition House Leader, order.
Well, Mr. Speaker, Canadians just don't trust Liberals with their private information. But just as importantly, Canadians want to know why the government needs to know who they pay, how much they pay, what they purchase online, what they are giving to their children through e-transfers. And, Mr. Speaker, Canadians want to know why the government needs to know that and not even tell Canadians that they're going to be told about it. This is Big Brother on steroids, Mr. Speaker. It needs to stop. The Prime Minister has the ability to stop it. Why will he not stop this unauthorized surveillance of Canadians? Okay, everyone, so there you see we're not getting any answers, and the government, the Liberals, are not taking this seriously. They're going to keep collecting information about you, and we have no idea what they're going to do with it, but certainly they are spying on Canadians, and it's very alarming. So here's what you can do. We're going to keep asking questions. We're going to keep working here in Ottawa. The media is talking about this. Global, actually, David Akin broke this story, and we're really grateful that he did that. You need to act, though. Please share this video. Please send this to your friends, to your family, to your neighbors. And then you need to start phoning. I always say phone Liberal MPs. If you send an email or write them, it's easy for them to just read it and kind of pass it on to the side, deal with it later. I can tell you if an MP gets 20, 30, 40 phone calls in one day on one issue, our staff are paying attention and they're telling us, you better listen. So call Liberal MPs in your area, call the Prime Minister's office, arrange a phone campaign, get your friends and your neighbors to call Liberals and to tell them to stop this. And if you can, write a letter to your editor. Obviously, you're posting on social media. That's really important. But we need you to act, because this has to stop before it even starts. I don't even know if they've already started it.
It has started. So the important thing is that it has to end, and Canadians can demand that.
Exactly. So thanks for acting. We'll keep working hard for you, and together we can get Canada back on track.